Hello again. Today we are graphing exponential decay functions. So here I have y equals 50 times 0.1 raised to the x power. Well, I need to pick my x values. And as usual, I'm going to pick -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So I need to find my y values, so I plug them into the function. So I have 50 times 0.1 raised to the -2, y equals 50 times 0.1 raised to the -1, y equals 50 times 0.1 raised to the 0, y equals 50 times 0.1 raised to the first, and y equals 50 times 0.1 raised to the second power. Right? So here I have 50 times 0.1 raised to the negative second power. So I'll slide that over a little bit and make some room. So that's 50 times, well, when I have a negative exponent, that means we make a fraction. So it's 1 over 0.1 squared. So that's 50 times 1 over 0.01. So if you punch that in your calculator, that's 50 times 1 divided by 0.01, which is actually 5,000. Now, if we do the same thing over here and we put 50 multiplied by 1 over 0.1, if you punch that in the calculator, it's 500. Now, remember that anything to the 0 power here is 1. So 0.1 to the 0 power is 1. So 1 times 50 is 50. Next, if I raise 0.1 to the first power, that's just 0.1. And 50 times 0.1 is 5. And we have 50 times 0.1 squared is 0.01. And what that's going to give you is 0.5, or 1/2. So I'll fill in my table. And so we can scale this down, especially the y-axis. Every line doesn't have to equal 1. Now, because -2 and 5,000, that's so huge, I'm not going to graph the 5,000. But we are going to graph -1, 500. Because every line going up, we're going to make worth 40. So it'll be 40, 80, 120, 160. Okay? So every line going up will be worth 40. So I will divide all of my y values by 40. So for my first point, where x is -1, my y value will be 12.5. And so that means that this mark here will be 500. And the point for 0, that'll be 1.25, but that will be equivalent to 50. At 1, 5 divided by 40 is 1/8, so this will be 5. All right. And at 2.5 will be just barely over the line. All right. So now let's connect these dots and make our curve. All right. And that is how you graph the equation y equals 50 times 0.1 raised to the x power. Make sure that your lines continue with arrows. Also, be mindful that the curve never crosses below the x-axis.